You're watching Express 100, where we show you 100 top news of the day. Let's get started. At least 9 people were killed and over a dozen injured in a train accident when a passenger train, Kanchenjunga Express, was hit by a goods train at Darjeeling in India's eastern state of West Bengal on Monday. The Kanchenjunga Express, which links the northeastern Indian states of Assam and Tripura with West Bengal, was hit by a goods train. The rescue operations are underway and all necessary measures are being taken by the central government in collaboration with the state government and the district administration to ensure evacuation of all injured at the earliest. India's President Draupadi Murmu expressed grief over the loss of lives in West Bengal train accident on social media platform X. She prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured and success of relief and rescue operations. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi also expressed grief over the loss of lives in West Bengal train mishap and took stock of the situation. Union Minister for Railways Ashwini Vaishnav announced enhanced ex gratia compensation to the victims, 1 million in case of deaths and 250,000 towards grievously injured and 50,000 for minor injuries. Member of Parliament from Darjeeling, Raju Bista, also took the stock of situation at the train accident site and hinted that death toll could rise further. India's President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other union ministers greeted citizens on the occasion of Eid al-Adha on Monday. A broad range of bilateral, regional and global issues were discussed as Indian External Affairs Minister held talks with US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in New Delhi on Monday. During the meeting, Dr. Jaishankar said that he was confident that India-US strategic partnership will continue to advance strongly under the Modi 3.0 government. Earlier, the US NSA met his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval. The duo reviewed progress on the India-US initiative on critical and emerging technologies. Sullivan also expected to call on PM Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release the 17th installment of the PM Kisan scheme on 18th of June at Varanasi, in which more than 9.26 crore farmers will receive benefits amounting to over rupees 20,000 crore. On 19th of June, Prime Minister Modi will visit the ruins of Nalanda in Bihar. He will also inaugurate the campus of Nalanda University in Rajgir. Prime Minister will also address the gathering on the occasion. In 3 days from now, the world will mark 10th International Day of Yoga. India's PM Modi shared a video on his X handle that offers guidance of Bhadrasana and its benefits. Crossing the world's highest steel arc rail bridge over the Chenab River, India's Railway Ministry has successfully conducted an electric engine trial from Sangaldan to Riyasi in Jammu and Kashmir. The Union Home Ministry has handed over the investigation into June 9 terror attack on a bus carrying pilgrims that killed 9 people and injured 33 others in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district to the National Investigation Agency. In an encounter between security forces and terrorists in Bandipora district, an armed terrorist identified as Zakir Hamid Mir was arrested by the officials. In an encounter between Naxalites and security officials in Chaibasa region of India's Jharkhand, 4 Naxalites were killed, including a woman. 2 others have been arrested. A China-made DJI Mavic 3 classic drone was recovered during search operation conducted by troops of India's border security forces in collaboration with Punjab police in the border area of Taran Taran district. Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath chaired a review meeting regarding preparations of flood control arrangements. 29 districts of the state have been placed in the highly sensitive category. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh noted India's success with over 40 quantum technology startups in the last 2 years, emphasizing their global potential during a review meeting in New Delhi. The capital markets and investment group Credit Lyonnais Securities Asia recently noted that Indian banks have established themselves in a much stronger position as balance sheets and profits have rebounded markedly, with the sector's return on equity reaching its highest level since 2011. India's textile export industry marked a remarkable growth, 9.6% in May 2024 compared to the same month of the previous year. Oil prices slipped in Asian trading on Monday after a survey on Friday showed weaker U.S. consumer demand and as May crude production rose in China, the world's biggest crude importer. Global benchmark Brent crude futures for August delivery were down 29 cents at $82.33 per barrel, while the West Texas Intermediate crude futures for July were down 29 cents at $78.16 per barrel. Asian share markets were in the red on Monday as mixed Chinese economic news underlined the country's bumpy recovery, while political uncertainty in Europe soared risk appetites and kept the euro on defensive. Chinese blue chips were off 0.2% after retail sales topped forecasts by rising 3.7% in May, while Japan's Nikkei slipped 1.7%. Central banks in Australia, Norway and the UK are expected to hold rates steady at meetings this week, though the Swiss National Bank might well ease given the recent strength of the Swiss franc. The dollar was firm on Monday as the euro hovered near a more than 1 month low amid political turmoil in Europe, while investors awaited fresh clues on the strength of the US economy. China's May industrial output grew 5.6% from a year earlier, slowing from the 6.7% pace in April, adding pressure on Beijing to shore up growth. China's new home prices also fell at the fastest pace in more than 9 years in May. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved the 6-member war cabinet after centrist former General Benny Gantz left the government. Amid pressure from nationalist religious coalition partners, Netanyahu is now expected to consult with a smaller team, a move that could strain relations with international allies such as the United States. In a disagreement over Gaza's strategy, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu criticized the army's plan to implement daily pauses in fighting along a key route into Gaza to allow for aid delivery. Prime Minister Netanyahu deemed the military's proposed 11-hour humanitarian pause as unacceptable, while clarifying that normal operations would continue in Rafah. Escalating conflict along the Israel-Lebanon border threatens to widen into a broader conflict, with near daily exchange of fire between Israeli forces and Hezbollah militia observed amid ongoing fighting in Gaza. Amos Hochstein, an advisor to the U.S. president, is traveling to Israel on Monday for meetings aimed at preventing further escalation along the blue line between Israel and Lebanon. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Conservative Party faces a grim outlook as 3 recent opinion polls predict their potential wipeout in upcoming elections. European Union countries finally approved a landmark policy aimed at restoring damaged nature, marking the first major green law passed since the recent European Parliament elections. The French election campaign kicked off with President Macron calling for snap polls to counter the rise of far right, led by Marine Le Pen's Eurosceptic National Rally, currently ahead in the polls. An Italian nuclear energy firm plans to construct 20 mini-reactors in the UK as part of its efforts to develop 4th-generation nuclear technology in Italy. Following a 2-day Ukraine peace summit, Switzerland's foreign minister suggested the possibility of another round of talks before the US presidential elections in November. European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen stated that Ukraine summit has brought Ukraine closer to peace, emphasizing the need for patience and determination to achieve lasting peace. Russia dismissed the results of Swiss conference on the Ukraine crisis as negligible, highlighting what it sees as the futility of talks that exclude Moscow. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov affirmed Russia's willingness to engage in dialogue with any countries seeking it. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese raised concerns about human rights in China, the Russia-Ukraine conflict and Pacific issues during a meeting with Chinese Premier Li Qiang in Canberra. Chinese Premier Li Qiang's visit to Australia marks a thaw in relations after tensions over trade disputes and defence matters. Protesters gathered outside Parliament House in Canberra to demonstrate against Chinese Premier Li Qiang's visit, highlighting concerns over Beijing's policies in Tibet and Xinjiang. Residents of Hanoi expressed excitement about Russian President Vladimir Putin's upcoming visit to Vietnam, seeing it as a sign of Russia's resurgence. Tensions in the South China Sea between China and the Philippines intensified after China's Coast Guard accused a Filipino ship of illegally intruding into waters near the second Thomas Shoal. Thailand's courts will handle a series of politically significant cases this week, including the possible dissolution of an opposition political party and a case that could lead to the Prime Minister's removal. And we are heading for a short break. Stay tuned.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching Express News. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. The India Meteorological Department has issued heat wave to severe heat wave warnings for the entire northern Indian region till 18th of June. The IMD also predicted that the northeastern Indian states along with the West Bengal and Odisha will receive heavy to very heavy rainfall in the next 4 or 5 days. More than 1,200 tourists remain stranded and await evacuation in the northeast Indian state of Sikkim as heavy rains and floods disrupted connectivity along the highway. About 6,000 people have been affected in 93 villages across the northeastern Indian state of Assam as heavy rains continue to engulf the region. Flames erupted from the mountainous forests of India's Jammu and Kashmir on Sunday as a prolonged dry spell followed by strong winds caused wildfires in the region. Authorities are trying to contain the flames. A wildlife burning northwest of Los Angeles in U.S. state California has forced the evacuation of over 1,000 people and burned over 12,000 acres. Only 2% of the fire has been contained. At least 6 people were killed and 19 were injured in a landslide in Ecuador on Sunday. 4 people died and 2 are missing as heavy rain triggered landslides in China's Fujian province on Monday. Severe flood warnings have been issued in China's southern region. Residents in China's Beijing turned to sun protective gear on Monday after alerts for high temperatures were issued across the country on Sunday. At least 6 people have died in Jordan due to heat during the ongoing Hajj pilgrimage. Temperatures were predicted to reach 47 degrees Celsius in Mecca on Monday. A yoga session was organized at the Indian Coast Guard Air Station in Daman. People performed various yoga postures across the runway. Hundreds of people participated in pre-yoga day celebrations in Indian state Gujarat's Rajkot ahead of the International Day of Yoga on June 21st. About 200 people practiced yoga at a park in Japan's Hokkaido on Sunday ahead of Yoga Day. Over 700 people participated in a yoga event organized in London's Trafalgar Square by the High Commission of India in the United Kingdom. Muslims across India celebrated Eid al-Adha on Monday. Thousands of devotees were seen reciting the namaz prayers in New Delhi's Jama Masjid. Muslims in Indonesia celebrated Eid al-Adha with prayers on Monday. Locals performed a ritual prayer known as the Salah and queued up for the sacrifice of livestock. Pilgrims in Saudi Arabia hurled pebbles at giant walls in a symbolic stoning of the devil on Monday morning for the second day of the Hajj pilgrimage. Devotees in North Indian city Varanasi performed the Ganga Aarti on Sunday, offering prayers to the river Ganga on the occasion of Ganga Dashera. Inmates at Greece's maximum security jail performed an ancient Greek tragedy Antigone, giving them respite from the mundane routine of daily prison life. The ethnic Maasai people in Kenya are turning from cattle rearing to beekeeping to adapt to the effects of climate change, as devastating droughts have led to the loss of cattle. Mexican wrestlers demonstrated their force and commitment to beat climate change in a collective exhibition in Mexico City on Sunday. The event aimed at raising awareness towards climate change. Nearly 55 ballet dancers and 60 musicians recreated the classic 150-year-old ballet Swan Lake at the Hanoi Opera House in Vietnam. The ongoing Da Nang International Fireworks Festival 2024 in Vietnam featured dazzling performances by teams from the US and Italy. Themed Made of Nature's Wisdom, the team's performances blended latest fireworks technology with various music genres, drawing more than 10,000 spectators. Artisans in a Vietnamese village are keeping traditional pottery alive by turning pottery into gifts. Contests are also being held to promote ancient charm ceramics. Switzerland held one of the largest annual sailing race with 3,500 participants and 400 racing boats in attendance. The event has been held in June every year since 1939. Many volunteers have participated in beach cleaning and coral reef planting program on Song Song Island in Malaysia. Nearly 50 kilograms of garbage was collected from the island. Workers have finished setting up an entrance gate for the Yoshida Trail on Mount Fuji in Japan ahead of the start of the climbing season. From July 1st, the daily number of climbers able to use the route will be limited to 4,000. New protocols have been set up to regulate the number of hikers visiting Japan's highest mountain. A soccer-themed opera attracted lovers of both sport and music in the German city of Hamburg amid Euro 2024 in Germany. The play recreates a football pitch with traditional areas and pop songs. India's Mumbai International Film Festival has entered its third day. Several documentaries, including 2018 Indian film Saving the Dark, are being screened. Indian comedy talk show The Great Indian Couple Show has been renewed for a second season on Netflix. The 77th Tony Award celebrating excellence in Broadway took place at New York City's Lincoln Center with Oscar-winning actress Ariana DeBose as host. The Tony Awards featured performances from hit musicals. Singers Alicia Keys and Jay-Z joined the cast of Hell's Kitchen for a performance that paid homage to New York City. The Outsiders, a musical based on S.E. Hinton's coming-of-age novel, won the Tony Award for Best Musical, while Stereophonic took home 5 awards. Beatles legend Paul McCartney has announced a run of UK and European headline shows in December this year as part of his Got Back tour. Music stars Sabrina Carpenter, Ray and many others packed powerful performances at Wembley Stadium for this year's Capital Summertime Ball. Soundtrack from 2023 hit film Saltburn is getting a vinyl release by filling up with bath water in reference to an infamous scene in the film. The soundtrack includes indie and pop classics from the 2000s. Animation series Tokyo Revengers has officially announced the return of the show. A promo trailer of the second season has been released. Korean pop group Blackpink's member Rose may be joining YG subsidiary Black Label after officially parting ways with YG Entertainment as a solo artist. Bangladesh defeated Nepal by 21 runs on Sunday to take the final spot in the Super 8 phase of the T20 World Cup. Babar Azam's unbeaten 32 saved Pakistan's blushes as the side ended its disappointing T20 World Cup campaign with a 3-wicket win over Ireland in Florida on Sunday. Indian women's cricket team secured a thumping 78 runs victory over South Africa, its first ODI game in Bengaluru on Sunday. England got their quest for a first major tournament title in 58 years off to a winning start as Jude Bellingham's header guided the 3 Lions to victory over Serbia 1-0. Denmark's Christian Eriksen made a remarkable comeback, scoring a goal in the European Championship against Slovenia 3 years after suffering a cardiac arrest during Danes' Euro 2020 match against Finland in Copenhagen. 2018 World Cup champion and 2022 runner-up France will start their campaign against an in-form Austria tonight. In tennis, third seed Katie Boulter fought through a semi-final and final on Sunday to successfully defend her Nottingham Open title. Defending Wimbledon champion Carlos Alcaraz on Sunday said that he is fully focused on the upcoming grass court season before returning to his beloved clay for the Paris Olympics. 3 times Grand Slam champion Andy Murray is set to represent Team Great Britain at this year's Summer Olympic in Paris. Bryson DeChambeau came out on top in a dramatic final round back 9 battle with Rory McIlroy to win the US Open by 1 shot on Sunday. That's all in Express 100. News and updates will continue.